if we could welcome Heidi van der Mehden over to talk about her wine.
Thank you. Thank you. So at Mary Edwards, as Eric said, we are known for making site-specific Pinot Noir and also our distinctive Sauvignon Blanc from the Russian River Valley. Our founder, Mary Edwards, was one of the trailblazing female winemakers in California, and she really helped shape the American wine industry. And Mary hired me in 2015 to be her successor in winemaking. We worked together for 5 years until she retired, and now we are owned by Champagne Louis Roederer. So the wine you have today is our 2021 vintage Meredith Estate Pinot Noir. Meredith is the first vineyard that Mary planted for our winery in 1998. And to me, this is our heart, and it also really represents the 3 pillars of our winemaking and our winery. First of all, great Pinot Noir is grown. It's not enough to have a great site. You also have to plant the right vines and find the right clones to plant there. And then you have to farm it properly. When Mary planted this, she put 5 different clones of Pinot Noir that she chose specifically for this 20-acre parcel, including her own field selection. She had her own field selection of Pinot Noir from the Mount Eden Vineyards, UCD 37. Later, she trained me in her meticulous farming practices, and we really focus on timing at this vineyard. So every process that we're doing throughout the growing season has to have perfect timing to get the best quality grapes for your wine. So second, we have a profound respect for the land and the environment. Sustainability was always part of Mary's ethos, and that translated into our winery's ethos. And it was one of the things that excited me about working with her. She always was making her own compost. She planted specific cover crops in our vines to enhance the soil and build up organic matter. And what's really exciting for me is I am now given the opportunity with new ownership to take this to the next level, and this is now being farmed organically. So I love that. And then finally, our wines have a sense of place. When this vineyard was planted, it was actually not considered Russian River Valley. It was still Sonoma Coast AVA because it was considered too coastal to be part of the Russian River. But they expanded the AVA southwest in the early 2000s, and then it got brought into the Russian River Valley. And the funny thing is, when it was first planted, when she first made the wine and had to put Sonoma Coast on it, it actually wasn't gaining traction because at that time, Russian River had a more popular name than Sonoma Coast, which has kind of switched now. It's about 11 miles from the Pacific Ocean. So it's on a southwest-facing hillside. You're getting plenty of sun in those rolling hills. But again, that Pacific Ocean is so cold, we're getting cooling sea breezes right in the middle of the afternoon when you would expect it to be the hottest part of the day. And that really helps mitigate the heat. That ushers in the fog at night, which burns off late the next morning, as Jenna was talking about. The wines from this area, we call it locally the Sebastopol Hills area of the Russian River, really have a fingerprint because of the warmth of the sun in those rolling hills, and then also the cool breezes and fog coming in from the Pacific Ocean. You have enough sun to get really ripe, dark fruit, but those cooling effects means you get nuances in the glass of green olive, black licorice, some herbal notes, which really make a nice complexity to the aromatics. And it also means we get really nice structure and elegant tannins in these wines. The 2021 vintage was marked by severe drought for us. We usually get on average 35 inches of rain. That year we had 13 inches of rain. So the vines really struggled to find water. We do irrigate, but even with irrigation, They struggled, and I feel like you can really sense that in the glass. All of our 21s have really tightly wound tannins, and so it will behoove you to give this a lot of air in the glass and really be patient with it, because it's going to unwind and develop over time. So as you taste this wine, I hope you remember our attention to detail and our love of the land, and can taste that in our Pinot. Thank you.
Thank you. You know, I don't officially cover